Code Zero up there in Vancouver, and you're just sitting down here with a radar gun, you're probably going to head that way. you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know.
Sign up for it.
But the thing is how would you feel if your chief sat there and said, "Oh, Code Zero, don't worry about it. No, don't respond."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, and that's.
You the 180 for that? Yeah, we don't. No.
Probably just let him know.
I mean, I went up to Seattle and covered a protest one time, right? And they sat there and said, "Right wing on that side, left wing on this side. Which side are you on the streets?" And basically sat there and said, "Anything goes flying across the street, we're arresting people." They go, "We're not Portland." But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And then the mayor congratulated and thanked the protesters at ICE.
What?
For bringing up
Political issues.
Yeah,
I'm sure a bunch of guys would quit after they heard that.
it's like what?
Yeah.
You know.
Thanking them? Yeah, that's.
And then they had an old couple, like in their 60s, that happened to turn down the wrong street. And
Morning.
Due to they were a white couple, the anarchists up there tried to basically was breaking their windows and stuff like that. And the police was just sitting up the street watching. And
Be hands off?
yeah, it was hands off. And the police police put out a bulletin. Well, we didn't want to disrupt the crowd. We didn't want to make it worse.
What happens if they got violent and pulled them out of the car?
Huh?
What happens if they get violent and pull people out of the car?
Police aren't going to go in there.
Duty to protect.
Yeah. All the cops did was just basically sit there. They had like a couple motorcycle cops on different spots to make sure that, yeah. So you got to figure if you and your partner's over here watching the protests and 100 protesters start pulling someone out of a car. But yeah, it's no longer serve and protect up there. It's cover your. I mean, it's funny because the right wing doesn't like the mayor, the left wing doesn't like the mayor.
And the cops are somewhere in the middle.
And the cops are like, well, we can't take political. We can't, it's against our rules to make political comments. We can't.
Yeah, you have to stay unbiased, partial.
Yeah. But the union's blaming the mayor's blaming the police.
Yeah, that's a very unhealthy relationship.
So, and it's going to be interesting because they got 120 openings with 50 people retiring. I know.
It's gonna get worse before it
Yeah,
gets better.
I know Lieutenant. When I met him, he was a sergeant in traffic division. I got his personal number, right? And he wants me to call him on his phone instead of using the instead of sending text messages, because now what they're doing is when they're doxing people, if they find out like me and you are texting, they'll subpoena your texts from duty.
Really?
Because all of your texts that you send out on duty is public record.
Yeah.
So they get that, and then they
Hold it against you. Try to show some type of bias.
yeah. And so that's what
That's just too much. It's not worth it. It's like.
Yeah. So you can't use text messages to talk to people, and a lot of them are straight afraid that if you use text messages to contact your wife, they're going to have your wife's name and number. So you can't use your
Personal phone.
yeah, you can't use your business phone and you can't use your personal phone on business because then they're gonna want that. And they got cops like Kruger, which is a known Nazi cop, and I don't mean Nazi as in all police are Nazis. I mean this guy dresses in Nazi uniforms, has a Nazi haircut.
Really?
Yeah, Nazi youth haircut. And is a captain in the vice unit. And
Sounds bad all the way around.
yeah, they just got done shooting a guy that was having a struggle with a police officer. The guy supposedly reached up onto a police officer's uniform and pulled a knife off that was on there. Yeah. The problem is the guy was blind. You know, so it's like every time they turn around.
Yeah, they just.
So yeah, I mean it's getting bad. I talked to another friend of mine that's up there that's like totally right wing, and she's like, yeah, you know, because her husband used to work for the Portland Police. She's like, yeah, all the good cops are getting the hell out of there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be hard. You sign up to do your job and then you can't do it.
But yeah, the sergeant that I knew went to lieutenant, went to homicide. He loved traffic, but homicide was a promotion, and he liked homicide and stuff like that. Now he's in the mayor, or not the mayor, but he's in the chief of police. He's supposed to investigate officers and stuff, and he hates it.
Yeah, that's one of those spots where you're kind of told to go, you know?
Yeah, and he's like, you know, because it's an assistant chief position. They lost their second in command up there. He said, I'm retiring. Yeah. Chief Day, assistant chief, he retired. He goes, he flat out said, I'm going to retire on my terms. I'm not going to be forced to retire.
It's old school right there.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun.
So yeah, I mean it's getting bad, and right now they're recruiting like New York, Los Angeles, stuff like that. They had 60 people apply and only 3 get in. Only 3 pass the background check. And they say, well,
Losing a bunch at the same time.
yeah, and they say, well, the biggest factor is people smoking weed.
Oh, applicants. I mean, yeah, it's just what it is nowadays.
Yeah.
We have, not the city of Oxnard, but the city of Wainimi just opened a dispensary on the street actually here on the boulevard. Another one, they have one further south, but it's great. It brings in a lot of revenue for the city.
Oh, yeah.
The taxes on there, where it's at.
So yeah, I mean it's harmful, and one of the city commissioners brought up the fact, well, I now see what the problem is.
Really?
Weed's been legalized for 4 years in Oregon, and this is something that's up and coming. And cop watchers are actually going to police officers' houses now.
Really?
Yeah, it's gotten so bad out there that, you know, cop will beat someone down over there.
Like get in a fight with somebody?
Yeah, or get into a fight, or say something crude. I mean, I've had cops say crude things to me, and then they get pissed off because I show up at their house.
Because you're filming?
Yeah.
It's part of the job, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So yeah, I mean, we show up, and then they're all mad, and then they contact the DA, and the DA's like, well, there's nothing we can do. It's not a crime to videotape outside your house. You know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, if there's a question, we like to ask the officer, hey, what happened here? You know?
I mean, we're public servants, so
Yeah.
it's part of the gig.
And usually,
Stick professional.
yeah, and usually what you'll get is, I don't want to talk about it. I won't talk about it. Get out of my face.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard that and I have seen that, but like in this situation, it's a big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's getting bad up there, and
It's not good to hear.
any officer that decides they want to go to Portland, if they get spit on, if they get cursed out, if they get shoved in a riot line, I have no sympathy for them because it's all.
You know what you're signing up for.
You know what you're signing up for. I mean,
You better have some thick skin,
yeah.
regardless of this job. But yeah, it sounds like.
There's been cop watchers that went up to the head DA's house and videotaped up there and videotaped his kids.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the lady that's in charge of ICE up there, the whole Northwest region. Cop watchers went to her house.
Really? Part of the thing.
And they went to what is that? Do you know where Homeland Security sends all their information about all the people and stuff like that? We went to that place in Salem.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's been several trips over there, First Amendment audits and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
We've had that in our department too. We're always usually pretty good about it. So
Yeah.
you just got to stay professional. But I'm gonna head over to the hospital and follow up with the guy on the motorcycle.
Okay,
What was your name?
I'm Bob.
Justin.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, safe travel.